saying goodbye to friends can be really hard.
Especially when we had that issue in the RV right afterwards and they weren't there to help.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Okay, we want to share that with you guys, but we also have a really big announcement. So
huge, epic announcement.
Like, big deal, so stick around. You guys are up early.
No.
No, you're not?
No.
Are you not up early, little one? We have been traveling for over 2 months with our friends Clementine and Pieter and their 3 kids. Our families have gotten so close together. We've shared meals, grocery shopped, done homeschooling together.
Shared laundry duties.
Yeah.
Gray tank and water fill and
all the fun stuff that goes along with it. But what was so cool is we were parking our houses next to each other for like 2 months straight.
Right. One of the big benefits of boondocking is you get to choose where you stay. And so we could always find a spot that fit both of our rigs right next to each other. Most of the time door to door.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever been this close with another family where we really helped almost like raise each other's kids for a couple months.
Yeah, it was like a traveling village of 2 families.
Yeah, and so we knew the time was coming where we were gonna have to say goodbye because they had plans to fly back to their home country in Holland and visit some family. And it was about that time. So we had to, well, we didn't have to. We decided that we wanted to follow them back to the Denver area and be with them up until the last minute. And so we drove to Longmont, Colorado, and found a campground that would fit both of our rigs.
Yep. And we were able to stay really close again, and the kids were able to play at the fairgrounds because there happened to be a goat show, a dog show, and a dressage, which is like a fancy horse, prance around show.
And the kids were excited to be able to do that. So we made some cool memories and got to show them around to see all the different farm animals and things. It was also really hot.
Very hot. So it was nice that at the campground that we stayed at, right at the fairgrounds, it was water and electric hookups because we pretty much had to run the ACs 24/7.
Yeah, and I know Peter and I took the kids out to go swimming for a little bit. And then at another time, I think you and I and Clementine took the kids out to do some grocery shopping and even went to Once Upon a Child and do some clothes shopping.
The kids enjoyed, yeah. Jasmine really enjoyed clothes shopping.
Yeah. Jazzy's doing a little shopping. I find her with a cart and she's just loading it up here. Aren't you?
Yes.
But I just remember having so much fun with them, and I'm already missing them as we're reflecting back and thinking about how we had to say our goodbyes, and you even flew kites. Do you remember that? Us adults were flying kites.
Not just a basic kite, like a aerial acrobatic fancy thing, and they're very tough.
I was gonna say you were trying for quite a while.
Yeah.
That was kind of tough to
They
fly,
made it look very easy because they'd been used to them, but it took me a few times to keep it up for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was fun. Made some great memories. It's really hard to say goodbye, and we were not looking forward to it. We even spent our last day while they were getting their rig ready to go into storage. So they were going to what they did is they put their RV into storage so that they could fly overseas for a while. And they had done this before because they've been on the road for 9+ years. So this is something they've done several times. But to put your RV in storage, you have to empty out all of the tanks. So there's no more dishwashing or bathroom usage. So we were making the meals for the last 24 hours in our RV.
Yep, doing dishes, watching the kids. They had a lot of things to take care of. And
yeah, and we said our goodbyes. It was really sad. And then a few hours later, getting ready for bed.
And one of the kids noticed, Gwen said, "Dad, why is there water in the shower?"
We just discovered that our gray tank is overflowing and our shower is backed up with all of our dirty clothes in here, just covered in nasty gray water. Check that out. Oh, so gross. like water in the bottom of the shower, like this deep.
It was the gray tank had backed up.
We'd never done that before.
No.
Over 2 years of living in an RV full time, we'd never backed up our gray tank like that. And it was overflowing into our shower and it smelled so bad.
Yeah, the gray tank can be, you would think, oh, it's just, dishwater and showers, but
it gets gross.
think about all the little food particles and soap.
And the heat. Like we were saying, it was so hot there, and those tanks, they're not air conditioned.
No, it's
they're underneath your rig, just baking.
Fermented dishwater.
Oh, it was gross.
Yeah, so it backed up, and the place we were staying at, they actually locked their dump station at night because they're in the middle of a city, so we had to, luckily, I found a maintenance worker who could open the gate. Told him it was emergency that the gray tank overflowed, and he happily obliged and opened the gate, but then that meant closing up the RV at 9 o'clock at night to, drive
in the dark.
Yeah, drive in the dark over to the dump station. It was only, 100 yards away, but it was just, it was unexpected. We were done. It was a long day. We said our goodbyes, and the kids, were trying to get ready for bed, and then we had to close up the RV, and so they get all hyper. And
well, and I just remember driving and looking at the front, and it was pitch black, and then I hear this gurgle behind me. I was standing right next to the sink because we're just driving through the parking lot, and I'm like, it was like a glug glug, like a gurgle, and I'm like, uh-oh. Ew, do you hear that? And it was burping. The gray tank was burping in our kitchen sink, and I was so grossed out. It smelled so bad, and it just stunk up the RV. It was horrible.
But luckily we had electric, so once we finished dumping and flushing and we got back, we made sure to plug in the diffuser with some essential oils.
That helped. That killed a lot of the but man, it was late by the time we got the kids to bed.
Yeah, probably almost 10 o'clock, and saying goodbye to friends, and so it was a long day.
Yeah, it was a long day. I'm gonna be sad to say goodbye, but it's been awesome to have this time with them and to really get so close with them. Goodbyes could be hard, but on the road we've learned that goodbyes usually mean see you later, that we're gonna see you again soon. So that is our hope. We really miss our friends, and we knew saying goodbye to them was going to be really hard, but before we said goodbye to them, we had made a decision.
Yes, it wasn't going to be goodbye forever, because we were going to see them again in a few months.
Because we made a big decision as a family that we love full-time travel. We love traveling as a family, and our kids have grown so accustomed to it that we've been having some conversations with them about the future of our travel lifestyle.
Yeah, where else do we want to go? What else do we want to see?
There's so much to see here in the US and in our RV that we still want to keep doing that too. So we were torn. We're like, hey, we want to travel more, maybe, go international, but how would that work? We don't want to sell the RV. And so we got inspired and we started to think outside the box once we talked more with Clementine and Pieter, because they have an RV for over 9 years, and they are it's just so simple. They put it in storage, and then they do some international travel.
Yep.
So we decided that it's our turn. So, do you want to say it?
We're going to...
Are you excited?
Yeah!
We're going to Bali, Indonesia.
We are so excited. I think we may have said that 200 times in the last couple weeks here.
Yes.
We decided with the kids, and we really talked it over with them, and actually they reached out to us. I know Riley talked to me a few months ago and said, Mom, I really want to travel international too. And I'm like, yeah, so do I, bud. That's been a dream of mine, but I wasn't sure how they'd handle it. So when they kind of reached out, when they started initiating that conversation, we're like, all right, we need to make this happen. So we learned of another world traveling family meetup that's happening in Bali, Indonesia in October, called the Family Adventure Summit. And we decided, you know what? We want to go. We want to meet other world traveling families as well, because we're a very social family. We love connecting with others that that travel full-time. We've connected with so many full-time RV traveling families here in North America, and now we're excited to go overseas and connect with world traveling families in Bali, Indonesia.
That was one of the biggest changes. When we started traveling, we were pretty isolated and didn't know if we were going to continue. But then once we started meeting other families and built a community of traveling families, in the States, we knew that community is where it's at. And now that we found other families and met other families that have already done this family adventure summit before.
And they have great things to say about it.
So many great things, because all of a sudden you build a community, so you're traveling the world, but then you can be meeting up with other families in other countries, or even traveling together through other countries, kind of like we do with the RV, but then,
in other countries.
In other countries.
Yeah, so we're going to see how that's going to work. So Clementine and Pieter with Where is Clementine are going to be at the Family Adventure Summit. We also met Marcy and Doug. They introduced us to them recently.
Yep.
And then we also met Jimmy and Sandy with Trying Something New. And they're all going to be there in Bali. So we already have a social network, but there's going to be hundreds of other families there as well.
Hundreds of people.
True, hundreds of people. The families end up being smaller because there's so many people in a family.
Yes.
But we're excited. We bought our tickets. We are flying to Bali as a family, putting the RV in storage, and we don't know what we're going to do after that.
We got one-way tickets, so it could be a month or it could be 6.
We're trying to be flexible. I mean,
idea.
that's the piece of advice we always give to everybody else, is be flexible with where your life is going. As a family of 6, we don't know if all of us are going to love and enjoy and thrive in an environment in Southeast Asia, or maybe we will.
We have no idea.
And then we just keep traveling around Southeast Asia for a little while and come back maybe after the winter. We'll see.
We'll go hang out in the summer in the southern hemisphere while it's cold here.
I know, right? So we're really, really excited for this. The kids are thrilled. We've been buying suitcases and packing cubes, and we're excited to kind of show you everything we're doing to get ready to travel international. But then also we're trying to figure out how to put this RV in storage and make sure that we don't have any issues while it's gone, so that we can come back to it months later and then get back on the road and travel around the US again. I'm excited.
I'm very excited and anxious at the same time, because it's such a paradigm shift. It almost feels like when we first launched into full-time RVing, because we left our, all we knew before. We had a house and we had our job and our routine, and then all of a sudden we uprooted that and threw ourselves in an RV and have been traveling around the country for over 2 years.
But this is becoming more comfortable.
Right.
Like we're feeling very comfortable, and you and I, we like to challenge ourselves.
Yeah, not stagnant at all. That was one of the reasons we launched, is just we were just bored and stagnant with our lives. And we're still very excited with our RV lives. It's comfortable, and meeting this other community of people that we want to expand our boundaries. And like Jill said, we can always come. We've got the RV to come back to. Yep. We're not selling it. We're not.
We want to come back to it. This is home.
This is our home, so it's going to be very different.
Yeah.
Living out of, rental homes in other countries, or hotels, or huts or villas, or whatever.
Wherever we end up
staying, we're going to have these adventures together and expand our boundaries even further than we already have.
I know. The kids are excited. We're excited. We have a lot more to share with you on how we booked our trip, the steps we went through to make this happen. So we'll get into that one probably next time, a little bit more into like how we made this actually happen. And then we were really excited to take you guys along with us and show you what it's like to make this next step of our journey come true, like this next step of our dreams come true. So I'm super excited. As you can tell, I'm a little giddy. I'm trying not to drink too much coffee this morning before the kids wake up. All right, I think that's it, guys. We are going to Bali.
We're going to Bali, and parts unknown, and
we don't know.
Maybe Mars, who knows? Come on, Elon, hurry up with it.
Right? All right, so I want to know from you guys, have you ever been to Bali or taken your kids on an overseas adventure? Because this is new for us. Our kids have only flown in an airplane for one trip, so there and back, and that was just a few months ago. Otherwise, we're a full-time traveling family, but we've been road tripping it. So this is going to be new for us. So
right. We usually bring our house with everywhere.
I know, right?
Now we're just going
Little
to have
suitcases.
Yep, everybody's got their own suitcase with their own stuff, and this is going to be completely new. So
we'd love any advice you guys have.
Yeah,
Where should we go? What should we see? And any extra tips on how to make this happen without too many issues with 4 kids in tow.
Right. It'll be an adventure, that's for sure.
All right, we will share with you next time a little more of the details, but leave comments below, give us some advice, and we will talk with you next week, guys.
Wow. We're going to Bali.
We're going to Bali!
All right, take care, guys.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Bali!
Where are we going?
Bali!
Are you excited?
Yeah!